Easy now, and welcome to this tutorial on how not to design thumbnails from me. If we have a look at the popular thumbnails, so obviously this is the way you're supposed to design thumbnails. You can have a look at Mr. Beast. He usually has a picture, usually with faces in, because they attract the human eye, with one or two words on max, and really short sort of text intros. And then Colin Furze, same again, so sort of action type photos, sometimes has a face in but less often, and really short sort of introductory text. And then Computer Files, so a few more words, and definitely the faces, often with this white outline, and very short text intros. How ridiculous, usually one or two words with arrows to sort of show where the movement was, because it's always action-packed videos from How Ridiculous, and fairly short taglines, leading to mine, which are, in the old days, very rarely a face. There's sort of a face, that did quite well, and taglines that are far too long, but I'm using keywords to try and get some extra views. And then recently, where I've seemed to have developed a style, whether it's correct or not, I like it, using a particular font with a white outline and then a black outline, with as few words as I can boil it down to. So I've managed 3 there, but they're quite long words. That's quite good, nice and short. This is rubbish. And then, yeah, still far too long sort of introductory text. Okay, so that's kind of how not to do it. With a bit more attention to detail, I've got, this was the first version of this Scratch game tutorial, but having tested it against my audience, i.e. my class, they had no idea what it was about. They thought this was some sort of donut, and didn't really recognise that as a car, which is fair enough. So I redesigned it and put a car on, so that you get an idea that the game is about a car, and stuck my little wheelie man on top of the car, of course. And then had a little bit more of a think about it, decided that this green wasn't very eye-catching, so I sampled some red from the car, and produced a slightly better image, I'd say, that was much more eye-catching. And then finally I replaced the car with a royalty-free image from Creative Commons, so that I wouldn't be wrapped on the knuckles for using someone else's images. And as always, put playful little wheelie man just on the bonnet. Okay, so that was the development of that particular thumbnail. The next thumbnail was the Iron Man one, and I designed Iron Man's mask fairly accurately, but changed the colours so that it would, spark a little bit more interest, because you might look at it and think, oh, that's Iron Man, hold on, but the colours are a bit woo. Yeah, so designed the mask out of that, and then put a sort of a transparent fade on the background, and tried to imitate the colours and the sort of outlines of this Iron Man word. And that was sort of okay, but quite bland and sort of a bit too dark, so I redesigned it with some brighter colours in the background, and was fairly happy with that. It's a bit more eye-catching, not amazing though. And so I tried to, the next one, do it sort of slightly stylish, so I put the mask in really zoomed in, because I think that's quite interesting if you sort of just have part of an image. And then same old font design, so grab this lovely font, put a thick white background around it, outline around it, and then a black outline around that, and then use the actual better Iron Man words for that. So I was just much happier with that image. I'm about to show you how I created my Iron Man thumbnail. So I've clicked Create New in pixlr.com/e, which is the advanced version. I've named the thumbnail Iron Man Thumb, and I'm going for 920 by 1080. It's just a good size for making thumbnails for YouTube. Right, so I've in Photo P in a previous video I showed you how I traced Iron Man's face. So I've got this as a PSD, a Photoshop file, Photoshop drawing maybe, document, don't know. So I'm going to do File and then Export as PNG because it will maintain this transparent background. So PNG, and that comes down in Downloads. Eventually save. There we go. Right, and then in Pixlr, because it's got a nice font in it, this font that I particularly love, I'm going to do Layer, Add Image as Layer, and find that PNG, of which I have loads, it would seem. Okay, there we go. Open. Right, so I've now got Iron Man's face, and it's already come in too big for the drawing, so I might leave that about where it is. Right, okay, and then let's stick some text down. Right, there we go, add. So, design your own, capital D, design your own. Okay, so there's the text. I'm going to change the font to this particular one that I love. Press J, and there it is. Okay, so let's go with that one. And then, come on computer, do keep up. That's it. Right, let's just double that. About 200, yeah, 300, let's go with that. Right, so black colour. Let's just move that. Oh, and line spacing for some reason is always huge. Let's go with less. That'll do. Lovely. Right, let's just cross all this off. Yep, I'd say that was about right. So, you can't add anything like outlines or drop shadows or anything like that to text. You've got to rasterize it, so that turns the vector text that can be resized to any size into bitmap, which can't be resized to any size. Actually, while I'm at it, I'm just going to change that to align right, as it's on the right hand side of the document. Why not? So it lines up with the edge of the document. Okay, so layer and then rasterize layer, and then I can start applying outer glows. So outer glow, and for this I've just sorted out a little system that I always do the same thing. So when that finally loads, let's change that to 30 pixels and then give it one more go. So filter outer glow and just put a black of 15 pixels. So change the colour of it. There we go. Right, design your own. Splendid. Okay, I'm going to just click on Iron Man's face for a sec. I'm not sure, but I think I might make it even bigger. Just going to zoom out, Control minus. Maybe a bit further. And just make that really large. That's it. Okay. Right, that's annoying. Let's hide that for a sec, because Pixlr keeps thinking I want to. Right, that's well zoomed in on his face. Is it too far? Can you tell that's Iron Man? Let's make it a little bit smaller. Let's have a go at that one. Right, so zoomed well far in. Hopefully you can tell that that's Iron Man. I have a feeling that you probably can't, but well, never mind. Right, let's show my text layer again. Splendid. And then I'm just going to add one more layer, an empty layer, and move that to the bottom using these down arrows, and then give it a fill. Quite like gradients at the moment for some bizarre reason, never used to. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so to apply the gradient I chose two different colours ages ago. With the gradient fill tool, I'm going to click from the bottom to the top, and that starts at dark blue, goes up to light blue. Only thing is that the blue kind of gets into his mask. Ooh, something that a lot of YouTubers do is they will put an outline on there, on the person of the face, etc. So let's see. Outer glow of white. Yeah, so that's put a nice white outline on Iron Man's mask. Probably needs to be bigger, perhaps. Let's just change this background colour. Get rid of the white. Light blue. Let's have a go at that. Right, go back to my gradient layer. See what that does. Maybe, or I reckon that's it. Okay, so there is a thumbnail kind of ready. I reckon if that was done in colours that would have been much better actually as Iron Man's mask, but never mind. Right, saving out of Pixlr is file save the JPEG, so save that and then wait for a sec, press escape to get rid of that window, and then Control S to save again. This time save the PXD so that you can edit it should you need to. So download. Okay, so sort of following the recommended rules of YouTube's design, I've got an image that has the focus of the video, which is Iron Man's face, a few bits of text just to kind of give them an idea of what's going on, and then I give it a background colour. Something a bit more exciting might have done, but blue, I like blue, so there we go. So there's an example of a thumbnail designed in Pixlr for YouTube, following all the wrong rules, but it's my way of doing stuff, so if you want to go for it. So now you've been shown what not to do and have had a couple of hints as to what others suggest you should do, go and get some exercise, go and take the dog for a walk, or borrow a dog, take somebody else's dog for a walk, have a bit of a think about what you've been shown, and then so what you should do and what you probably shouldn't do. Come back, have a go at it, and I shall see you next time.